A website takes lots of effort to make. Big label brands like Nike, Cursor, and Netflix took years and hundreds of developers to create their apps. A few years ago, this would have been absolutely impossible. Well, that's all changed. Now AI can almost entirely replicate these websites. And I'll show you that throughout this video.
The website we're going to be trying to replicate is Apple's website. As you can see, it's very sleek, intuitive, has a very clean UI design. So we're going to be trying two no-code tools to completely try and replicate this design. So firstly is Llama Coder, which is currently using the Kimi K2 model. So basically, this is the Kimi model uses over 1 trillion parameters, having a small margin of them active, but this means that these large amount of parameters basically allows it to take lots of things into consideration, so it's really good at high intense tasks like vibe coding, which we'll be testing today with Apple's website. So we've attached 2 images which show Apple's landing page, and we want Kimi to replicate this design. And before we start, let's move on to the second app, vibe coding tool. So this is Orchids. It's a rather new vibe coding tool that's recently been gaining popularity. And as we can see, it's a website which is very good at creating website designs, as you can see here at various examples. And it has a clone tool integrated within it. So as you can see, we asked it to clone this URL of Apple. And now we'll see how these tools compare and their confidence score to how well they were able to copy this website design of Apple's. Before I show you guys the mind-boggling results we've got from Kimi K2 and Orchids, let's ask Kimi itself. What are the functionalities between Kimi and Orchids so we can compare them? So as we can see, Orchids is going through its various sources and it's framing an argument. So let's see what it comes up with. So Kimi is a multi-modal language model that produces text, images, and code together using reinforcement learning with chain of thought prompting to refine its reasoning continuously. It offers real-time web search, handles 50+ file types, delivers free unlimited responses with a 128k token count, which basically means it can do deep analysis, handle entire 200-page books getting put into it. So as we can see, Orchids is a visual no-code AI builder that can clone any existing site in seconds, generating custom designs instead of generic templates we've all seen in current vibe coding tools. Lets users edit layouts and content through an intuitive drag and drop interface, and exports clean, production-ready code and supports instant publishing to custom domains as it produces really good designs. So now, before we move on to showing the designs, let's go to Apple's design once again. Very good, very intuitive. So the first result we have is from Llama, aka Kimi K2 model. So here, it likely used an older version of Apple's website to replicate it, but we see the Watch Series 9 here. We can see the iPhone 15 Pro, the MacBook Air, the iPad Pro. Obviously, it can't copy the images from the website, so it had to use placeholder emojis. So we can see the terms of services, the shop and learn, services Apple Store, for business, about Apple. We can see its footer section. So it generated a really good UI for Apple's website, and that too, it was able to copy the basic design language Apple has. As you can see, it has lots of text and is very intuitive to go through, which we can see in Kimi K2. And after seeing Orchid, let's go to the code. So as you can see, it basically made this in an entire document. So it basically just went through the parameters of the images I shared and then went through all of the code. So as you can see, it gave lots of class names. It just went through and kept making class names, continuously designing UI layouts to see how it would refer to the website images I shared for it to make it good, and it kept making the basic UI language of the website. And yeah, it replicated the Apple website pretty good. But that isn't even close to as good as how Orchid's actually made it. And now I'll show the results of Orchid. Yeah, this is how Orchid made it. It's basically a one-to-one copy of how Apple's website looks. And Apple's website, for reference, probably took years of refinement design language to create. And Orchid's made this just within a few minutes of replication. As you can see, it basically has the same layout: buy Mac or iPad for college, sky blue color, stay high performance. Of course, it wasn't able to load the images, likely due to copyright reasons. So we get to meet the iPhone 16 family, learn more, shop for the iPhone. Now we can see it's supercharged with the M3 chip. We can turn a poster into a calendar event with visual intelligence. Now with the hearing aid feature, you can trade in your Apple phone. You can even see Apple TV, of course, rebranded. Yeah, you can see all the TV parts. You can see all the various shows it has. And you can see all the footer section. Yeah. So as we can see, Orchid's almost exactly copied the Apple website and made it really good. So let's go through the code of Orchid's. So it went with a much more advanced style. It made many files, went through errors, made a whole CSS document, made a TypeScript layout, a page TypeScript layout, a components page with the blocks, footer, navigation section. So it basically planned out how it would make its entire UI design so it could make a really good design and replicate how Apple made their website. We have the configurations, the GitHub ignore, the next config TypeScript, the package lock JSON, the package JSON, and yeah, that's how Orchid's made its website. So comparing both of them, Orchid's takes a very structured approach to making apps, taking in more contextual inspiration from the prompt provided and actually making a very good design layout in multiple different files in a very structured manner. So as Llama made it, Llama took it all into one file fundamentally. Like, it made its entire website with this one file. Obviously, you can't get as much structure as a website that has multiple files, though for having only one file, it was able to replicate the Apple website very well. Okay guys, so based on both of the designs, let's see their confidence level. So this is what Orchid's made. The structure and layout is 75%. It was overall showing Apple's approach, proper hero sections, grid-based layouts, navigation sections appear well organized. It had a very good visual design and aesthetics, with a reasonable color scheme, good typography, matching Apple's clean, minimal design language, having pretty good content accuracy too. Product names and key messaging are correct, built for Apple attention, taglines are properly included. It has the technical implementation is rather unknown since Orchid's is mainly based off design, but its overall fidelity and how good it was actually able to replicate Apple's design, which took them hundreds of developers and likely years, is 72%. This replica capturing Apple's essential design language. And now let's go to Kimi. So based on what we shared, it has a really good structure and layout based on an older Apple website, we can say. It has a very good hero section, matches Apple's typical homepage, has very good typography and text content. Its product names, taglines are very descriptive and accurate. It has very good visual design and aesthetics. While they're generally basic, if they match with Apple's clean, minimalist design language and approach. And it has a very good navigation and header bar, lots of footer details, and overall, its confidence level was 80 to 85%.
These AI websites were able to aptly capture the core essence of Apple's websites, which took years to develop, shows how advanced AI has become these days. And we are now in the AI revolution, and at No Dev Build, our primary goal is to leverage that to help builders.